So actually, cast and crew, please, or cast and crew, who's both? Cast, please come on up to the stage. Let's give them a huge hand. Thank you. Right. Theo said that he told the hurricane to wait a little bit so we can have the premiere, so. You guys enjoy this?
Trevor, do you want to come up? Kelly, Justin?
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's a good thing, yeah. Come on up. Who do you want up, David?
I was thinking Trevor, Kelly, and Justin.
Yeah, Trevor, Kelly, and Justin, come on up. So. Please.
Yay.
Kelly is our production designer and costume designer. Justin is our editor.
Well, thank you guys all for coming out. We're very, very excited about the film, and we're going to keep it really short and sweet because, you know, people are like, I guess, getting on flights and buying supplies, and but we're so excited to share the film with you. It's available right now on YouTube, on iTunes. Actually, Mr. Wilson, what is it available on? You shot the promo video. No, it's available on YouTube, iTunes. It's going to be on Amazon. It's going to be, and it's on Vudu, right? And so, as you know, it takes a lot of money to watch independent films to raise awareness. So if you like the film, or rent it, buy it, tell others about it, post about it, just because we want to make more. And so we're going to kind of ask, I'm going to start with Mr. Liban at the end. David Liban, him and I met 2.5 years ago, and we have read a bunch of scripts. My wife pre-reads all the scripts, and it was amazing, and it was different. So David, just tell us, you are a tenured professor, and some of it was inspired by actual events. So just share with us.
It's actually a documentary.
Yeah. So David, go ahead and just tell us about the
so I'm a
story.
professor at University of Colorado, Denver, and I'm a tenured professor. And when you go through tenure, any academics here by chance? There's a few people, one or two. It's a very, very stressful situation to go through tenure, and I had a lot of what-if scenarios going on in my mind, and so it was just the impetus of my writing the screenplay was me going through tenure, and so I did have some contentious relationships with deans, and deans can be a tough creature. So that's kind of where the story came from.
Well, David, you from the very beginning, you were so passionate about it. It won some awards, and I guess let's start with the man who just carried the film. Timothy McCracken was unbelievable in this film. He's done an amazing amount of theater work, and he was in previous films. But Tim, just tell us about your experience on the film, and just you pulled it off. I think your looks just carried it so much, and it made it so enjoyable because it's like we're rooting for you, but pretty unlikable character you're playing. How do you pull it off?
It's very likable.
I just have enormous gratitude to David Liban. He wrote a terrific script. It's something that just leapt off of the page. I've had such a pleasure to have this opportunity to work with him and with this amazing cast and amazing crew and production team that's been a part of this process for the last close to 2 years since I had an opportunity to start working with David on it. And really, it's for me, it's so simple. It's terrific writing. It's clear relationships, and it's clear want of this character. It's so clear that something is driving him through this piece, which was a pleasure to try to get what I want through the entire film. So I thank David so much and everyone else that's involved in the film. So thank you.
Let's pass the mic over to your counterpart, James Shanklin, who did an amazing job, and any great film has amazing characters that are in conflict, and just tell us about the process and just interacting with Tim, and share with us.
Tim. No, actually, Tim and I have worked together before. We did a play together back in, I think it was 2018? Yeah, at the Denver Center. And I got an email from Tim one day, and he said that there was a script that he had read, and he was going to be doing this film. And he said, there's a part in it I think you're really right for. And that was the end of our friendship. No, he passed it on to me. I read it, and I honestly didn't put it down. I enjoyed it that much, and I told him, I said, tell David I'd love to meet him, and so we did. We met, we talked, and here we are. But it was just a blast. We had such a good time, and actually it turned out a few friends that I've worked with before, and Tim, and then now new friends. So we had a really good time working on it. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Anastasia Davidson, so you had the role of, tell us about your character, I guess, and you had to, we're looking at it saying, man, this guy is a pretty unlikable guy doing extreme things, but you love him, and obviously you loved him as a professor as well, but tell us about your character.
Yes, I play Allison Bowden, Jim Bowden's wife in the film, and I think the side that we see in the movie of Jim Bowden is a side that Allison really doesn't know or see for all of their relationship. They met, I think, when she was a grad student of his, so it gives them a little bit of a interesting background. But for her, Jim is this smart, really wonderful guy, and because of the circumstances that happened in David's amazing script, he goes down a path that is just incredible and kind of unpredictable, but Allison doesn't see that side. So it was very fun to play a character that watches, for Allison to watch Jim take the journey that he takes throughout the film and not understand why his behavior is the way that it is was really fun to play.
Let's actually pass it to your right. So Katie Michaels, and so really interesting story. James Shanklin and I met probably 2.5 years ago. And one of the things he said that I repeated, I said last night, I said, I gave him credit the first 20 times I repeated it, but now I just say it, and that is that you only make a film once, right? So we wanted to make it as good as possible, and it takes a long time. And but at that time I said, we need a very awesome actress for this role. It's not a huge part, but if it's not pulled off, it's not going to work. And he brought Katie Michaels, introduced us to her. She read the script, and won Best Supporting Actress in a film festival. So just tell us about your role. You had, hilarious, first of all, and just, tell us about your experience with the role.
Yeah, well, Emily, I think, is like the secret dean, right? I feel like she actually runs the show. You just don't see that in the film. It was so fun. That's actually I feel like when I read a script, it's like the roles I always gravitate towards are like those fun, small, poppy roles, and that is what Emily was. But it's, as you said, great writing, pops off the screen, and then just working with all of these people was a blast.
The final scene, you went through an emotional, tell us about that final thing. That was it's captivating, because it's I'm not sure if she's crazy or sad or what.
I don't think Emily realized how into that relationship she was. That's how it felt to me. She didn't realize how taken she was with the dean. I was also 20 weeks pregnant in this movie, and no one knew. So the emotion was all over the place anyway.
And you also we had COVID, right?
I got COVID, I was pregnant, we did all of it, I was married. I am married still, I didn't say that. Thank God my husband's not here. So
your husband's amazing. Didn't he fly out so you could drive?
My husband, I got COVID in Colorado, no one's fault, it was just the time. And so I had to shoot that scene. I'd come back, but my husband flew out and drove me home to Los Angeles because I was pregnant and I couldn't get on a plane.
And how was it, and now you're a mom and your world has changed, right?
Oh, incredible. Yeah, we don't have enough time in this game. Yeah.
So, this is Kate. Introduce yourself and meet Peters. You are a very nice person in real life for many reasons. Such a lovable character in the film.
Yeah, my name is Caitlin Miller. I played Mia Pierce. I found it so much fun to play someone so unlikable. And I thought it was fun because she's very self-absorbed, obviously, but I think she was kind of a wannabe. She's projecting herself into this role, and I think that made her even that much more unlikable. And I found it so much fun. Working with the cast and crew, everyone was so kind, so fun to work with, and it was an incredible experience.
And you're going to be studying at Savannah College of Art and Design very soon, right? Major in acting, minor in acting. So you're going to do more work. All right, let's pass it down to let's go to Alex DeMario first, and then we'll pass it to Mr. Wilson, who plays Detective Wilson. But Nick, introduce yourself real quick, and well, first of all, I gotta tell you, everybody did fantastic, and you struck this amazing balance. I think every father was like, oh great, here comes the guy. But talk about your role, because you pulled it off amazingly.
Thank you so much. So my name is Nick. I played Alex, and I think David crafted such an interesting character with Alex. He is obviously like this oblivious douchebag, but he means well. Like, I love the scene specifically where he goes into Dr. Bowden's office, and he basically is just so sorry about the email, and he specifically makes it about the fact that he took this shot out of the movie. Like, he's so proud about the movie, or about taking that shot out, and he's not really thinking about the aspect that his girlfriend is getting totally fucked over right now. I don't know. I just think it's such a fun experience to play a character that means so well, but is just so stupid.
Well, the thing is, he's not a great guy because he's cheating on his girlfriend, right? But he's not a murderer. So
yeah,
the irony is significant. And then we have Mr. Wilson, who plays Detective Wilson. Tell us about the role. And you've done a ton of acting. We've actually been spending some time together. He's actually from Hawaii and has done work on land in Colorado. Just tell us about the role.
So yes, my name is Mark Wilson. I play Detective Wilson. It was Detective Wilson when I walked in, so he didn't change it for me. But this one was I played a cop a lot, right? I played a detective and a cop a lot, but this one was different because I don't know if Tim knew, but he was doing a lot of stuff, just like during the interrogation scene and stuff like that, and it forced me to really like be absorbed in what he was doing and really be calculated as to like, this guy's not right. He's not right. And so it came across. I feel like it came across in the scene. You know, every time we would be on the screen together. So it was great working together. Yeah.
David, let's give the mic back to David. Just talk a little bit, and actually, I'll let you ask questions. I'll just say, we'll start with Justin, and I want to talk about the other crew members here. But so I was actually sat in on the final edit with Justin Lewis, and he's got this amazing setup. He's edited all kinds of films. But I thought I could edit, and then I said, I'm never editing in my life again, because like when a pro does it, and it's just amazingly cut together. And Justin's done so much with all the stuff of re-editing and resubmitting and just. But I'll let you talk about or ask questions if you'd like, David.
Well, we can start with Justin. Justin is an incredible editor. And he just owned the film. Like, he really took it on and learned the footage and loved the characters and the story. And so, did you want to say anything? Okay, and then next to me over here, Do you want to? Okay. Next to me is Kelly Spencer. She was a production designer and the costume designer of wardrobe. And so that is an incredible amount of work. So I don't know if you want to talk about it at all or what your experience was.
Yeah, so I did production design and then wardrobe as well. It was really fun to. I kind of tried to incorporate a lot of like cheery, like art and colors, especially the Bowden House. But like during like a very dark film, it was fun to play with like color and to just get all the characters having their like really weird, quirky things. But yeah.
Awesome. And of course, Trevor.
So I am not I like to work with the actors and the story, but without a designer, we are lost. Like Kelly would be like, yeah, I need a little pop of color. You're like, okay, get a pop of color or something. I don't know what that means. But I also want to talk to, then we have Trevor Merchant here. Trevor is an amazing cinematographer and a long time. Kelly and Trevor were both students of mine very long ago. Maybe not that long ago. But they have both gone on to be really, Trevor has his own company now and does all kinds of interesting videos. But it was the three people right here, like we were, like when COVID was happening, we kept saying like if any one of us got sick, the movie was done.
David, talk about that. We shot during COVID. I mean, this is a huge deal. Like we
I will. I'll
every
get to that in a
chapter
second.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Then we'll talk about the cinematography though, because like it was, we met for way before every scene. We talked it through, and we had a design. Do you want to talk a little bit about the design?
I was not ready to talk in front of you. Going crazy. I'm so grateful to this cast, the crew and everyone, and just to shout out Kelly again, and the actors. I wouldn't have anything to shoot if she didn't build beautiful spaces and filled spaces with beautiful people. So thank you so much for being a part of this film, and it was a joy to be able to photograph all of you and the things that you guys put together. And I'm so incredibly grateful to Justin for making, only putting the good shots in. And just keeping the integrity of the film. So thank you.
Well, you know what's amazing? Actually, what's amazing, in order to tighten it up and make pacing, when you have to start cutting good and decide, even cutting good, that's when you're starting to get something. One of the sets is incredibly cold, so I'll let David talk a little bit about that. We were running out of light. It was shot in winter. The scene, I wasn't on set for what everybody says was the most incredible set. It was the night shoot that they had in the graveyard, but it's like 35 seconds in the film or something. But it was freezing cold, right? And
there was a lot of freezing cold days, actually. The garage was freezing cold. I mean, we shot in the winter, and that was a problem, for a lot of reasons. We would kind of kick into high gear because Trevor would pull out his app and say, we got 2 hours of sunlight left, so it would get dark at 4:30 or the sun would change. And so it was a struggle to shoot at that time of the year, for sure.
Yeah, we thought we were being clever.
Yeah.
We're like, well, the crew won't be busy, so we could get a lot of good crew in the winter. And the university is available. The logistics worked, other than sunlight. It was small. And cold.
We were 11 days on the University of Colorado Denver campus, and so we had a 23-day shoot. We had to shoot in between. Our only deal was we had to shoot when classes were not in session. But we had entire buildings and we had everything we needed, so that was great, but it was cold.
And I think when you were, I wasn't on set for that. Unfortunately, I'm a very busy guy. I'm the CEO of an investment firm, but I got the dailies every day, and I think when you were the death scene, which is one of the most shocking and then funny, but I think I was told that you were lying for 4 hours on the pavement, and they were bringing heaters in, and it was one of the coldest days on set, and so. But everybody fought through it, right? We fought every single challenge. We overcame things, and we had the Colorado. This is the first film that I produced along with David. He co-produced it with me, and I mean we could give him like 10 credits in the film for all the work that he did. But we just want to thank you all for coming. I don't know if there's another mic, but is there any other questions? We could probably take a couple questions. Do we have another mic?
Before the question, I just
Oh.
want to shout out other cast members and production team members that are in the audience that did not come up here. So can we give a hand?
All right. Do we have the third? There's 3 mics, right? Or okay. Oh, we're running out of powder. No, we're good. Okay. So question. I think we saw in the middle. There was a question.
Yeah, I really like the sound design. When did that come in? And I just really appreciated it. It was great. Fantastic.
I mean, I will.
Designing that?
Yeah, the sound design. Did you want to talk about that, Justin? Or you want me to cover it?
Come on.
They keep trying to bring me up here. There's one thing you know about editors is we don't like spotlight. We like to set a little bubble behind the scenes. But first of all, thank you to the cast and crew for such wonderful performances. Like David and I had such a great time editing this. It was fun. It was a lot of fun and a lot of laughs. But to answer your sound design, we kind of started during the edit. I like when I do cuts. I like to add sound design because it's half the story. It really helped us kind of pace, especially with comedies. The sound of me getting hit, the sound of doors closing, groans, like all that. There was a lot of comedy in the sound. So I started it, but it was enhanced very much by Leslie. I'll let David kind of talk about that collaboration.
So our sound re-recording mixer is Leslie Gaston Bird, and so she's really brilliant and was a former colleague. She used to teach at CU Denver, but so we did our final mix in London, and so Justin laid out the track, and then we did Leslie did the Foley. She had a crew, and we did a 5-1 mix, and it sounded great in here. By the way, I'm still pissed off we didn't play that song at the end.
It is available. It's released. It's an original song. In fact, that's fantastic. Just talk real quick about that. You got original music from Denver. I mean, just amazing stuff there. Talk about that real quick.
Yeah, well, we were introduced by also a former student at CU. His name is Nick Sullivan. And Nick has a good buddy named Redding, who is here, Redding Bacon. Yeah. And he's got a band called Animals in Exile, and we licensed 5 songs of theirs for the film. And so, I was looking for some kind of psychedelic rock that I really wanted to do, and Nick said, I know a guy. And so that's how and so that we have, the song is on all the different, platforms that you listen to. If you look up Animals in Exile, we did a music video together a month ago or so, and that's also on our YouTube channel if you're curious.
We have had a few requests wondering, is the song "I'm So Fucked" going to be released? Because I was also, I believe.
It will be. It's actually on YouTube. It's releasing tomorrow on our channel.
that could go viral on TikTok, I think, maybe. But,
I'm very proud of that song. Yeah.
Other questions? Good. Well, I just want to say it's been a pleasure working with everybody, and it's my wife and I have talked about it so much that we feel very fortunate to have met David, and I think within like the first month we were like, how many emails we sent? 350. I mean, just so much work that goes into it, and we just lived with this film, but we hope that you enjoyed it, and just thank you all for coming out. And if you did, please watch it, share it, do whatever you can to help us promote it, because we're doing as much as we can on the front end, but when people have seen the movie, our reaction's been great. We actually have, I think I'm not sure if Derek McClay is here in the audience, but Derek McClay from EDO, okay? So they actually do, for huge budget films, like they do all the review, basically these screenings, test screenings, and we early on, like I don't know, it was a year and a half ago or something, we did a test screening, and it screened phenomenally, right? It was like 83% positive. You said it was a really good. Men and women like the demographics were fantastic, but we also looked at the critical feedback, and we just changed a lot. We tightened things up. We in a dark comedy, you can it has to be funnier than it is dark, and we crossed that line a couple times, and but we made it better.
Did not.
But we think that the final film is great, and so the point is, thank you very much, because in reality you do it for some of the biggest productions out there, and you did an amazing situation for us. And so thank you so much for doing that. And thank you so much. We'll definitely be using you in the future. But that's it. I just want to say thanks a lot, and thanks for braving the oncoming hurricane. See, in Florida, like we don't even worry about hurricanes. We're in Orlando, middle of the state, right? But I know it's a big deal here. And so may you all travel safely, enjoy your evening, interact with everybody. Thank you for coming out. Please share it with the world. We really appreciate you all. Have a good night.